Once again, welcome back to my channel to check out what has sold in my eBay store this week. If you don't know me, my name is Mark. I'm a teacher and a coach during the day, and I'm a part-time eBay and Amazon reseller. I haven't sold a whole lot of items this week, but that's okay. The word is from other resellers on Twitter and some of the resellers that I listen to their podcast. They've been complaining the last couple of weeks about their sales being down, that it's just there's kind of a lull right now. That may be true, but also there is an explanation for sales being down in my store. I haven't been listening a whole lot, and as you know, as far as the eBay algorithm, I believe in feeding the beast, and when I'm actively listing, sales are happening, and I have not been listing as much as I would like. That's okay. I know I even said last weekend that, hey, I'm going to get back into listing this week, which I have, but I haven't been meeting my daily goal that I'd like to reach of right now, just 5 items a day. But that's fine. Mentally, my mind is kind of caught up in my new teaching position. I'm a behavior interventionist now in our middle school, and I'm really loving this job. And a lot of it being that the students that I'm helping and working with and just trying to get them on track and help them just be successful each day at school. So while my mind is there, eBay's kind of on the back burner. I'm a little different than other resellers that you may follow. They're either doing this full time or they have a day job that they're trying to get out of, so they're part-time now and they're trying to move away from their day job. That's not me. I love teaching, I love coaching, but I also love reselling, and that's why I have this channel. So, you know, mine can be explained. I'm fine with it. I'm super pumped about the fourth quarter coming up. I have a lot of toys that I've got to get listed. I have a lot of other items with some men's and women's athletic wear and shoes and things like that I want to list and get those up there that I think will do really well at the end of the fourth quarter, going into the new year when everybody is focused on those New Year resolutions with fitness. So I'm super excited. And with that said, it's not been a bad month overall, and you will see. When I show you my items that sold this week, I also show you the eBay tab that I like to have up, where it shows how many items I've sold this month and the total. And I'm pushing 2,000 in sales, or I could reach 2,000 in sales before this month is over with. It's not over 6,000 like last month, but it's still very solid given the lack of attention really that I've been giving it. So. Another thing real quick, I'm doing 2 videos a week right now where I'm showing you guys what's sold in my store each week. That video is coming out on Saturday, just like you see this today. And midweek, I've been focusing on just little selling topics, or some of the mental side with reselling. I want to talk about my sports cards a little bit, so I think I'm going to start doing. I don't know if I'll do it every week, but I'm going to start throwing in a 3rd video. I don't know if it will be weekly. I'm going to try to do it this week, or do the first one this week, where I talk a little bit about selling my sports cards, but also showing off my collection a little bit, because some of you who follow me on Twitter are into that, and I think I can bring some other people from Twitter over to my channel that can add some value to things that I talk about, as well as hopefully enjoy some of the videos that I do with sports cards, because that's a huge passion of mine as well, and it ties in with reselling because I do resell sports cards. I'm just going to be very careful, because when I do want to talk about my collection and I want to talk about reselling, but I don't want to really water it down and make you think that it's easy and that everybody could just jump in and resell sports cards, because it's definitely not the case. You've got to really know what you're doing and be very careful. But it's just like anything else. You've got to make sure that you're only taking risk with money that you can afford to lose, if that be the case. So look for that, and hopefully I can get that out by Monday night this week. My first video with sports cards. So I'm super pumped about that. Without further ado, here is what has sold in my eBay store this week. Picking up where I left off last week with the Nike women's long sleeve running shirt. You can see I sold some Nike Soccer cleats, I actually have an unpaid item case open on these. It was a deal where I sent an offer, they counter offered, I accepted the offer, and they didn't pay. And that happens more than I would like. Usually when they counter offer, it seems, or at least over the last 6 months, they end up not paying. But it is what it is. I really hate that you can have immediate payment on auctions, but the moment you send an offer to someone, or if they counter offer and you accept it, they don't have to pay immediately. I don't get why eBay lets that happen, but it is what it is. It seems like this is a weekly sale. At least one Under Armour boys shirt, and it's Under Armour is always just a quick seller for me, and I sell a lot of men's and boys Under Armour clothing. Mega Blocks, a retail arbitrage item here that I paid $5 for, sold it for $35. That's a good pick or a good sale there, and I'm starting to list my toys in preparation for the fourth quarter, and somebody's on early and getting some action, so that's a good sale. I'm glad to see it go that quick. And you'll see here Wrangler men's pearl snap shirt. I used to sell these on, like, seriously, the velocity on these about 4 or 5 years ago used to be about 4 or 5 a week, and I would keep, like, I don't know, 40 or 50 in my store, and I would sell about 4 or 5 of these a week on average, but they still sell. It just takes a little bit longer. I just paid a couple of dollars for this, and it sold for $17. A women's Colorado Buffaloes shirt sold for $14. I paid $2 for it. Men's Nike t-shirt, graphic t-shirt with the words "The Athletic Society" on it, sold for $13. Paid I think $2.50 for that. Hawaiian shirt, I sell these once about every couple of weeks. I like to keep the different brands of Hawaiian shirts in my store. Paid $1, sold for $17. Brooks Brothers dress shirt. I sell quite a few of these. I just don't get them in that often. It's a hit and miss. Sometimes I could pick a few of these up on a sourcing trip, and then I won't see any for a few weeks. And then I'm talking about the good ones, not any of the older shirts that don't sell well anymore, but the modern dress shirts. Paid $1 for this, sold it for $18. Under Armour men's hoodie, sold for $14, plus the buyer paid priority shipping for this. I paid I think $4 for that shirt. Haven't sold any video games lately, but this could be something that's starting to pick up in the fourth quarter, or ahead of the fourth quarter and going into it. Paid $2 for this, sold it for $10, just make a few bucks off of it. Nike Florida Gators boys jersey, sold for $15, paid $2 for it. Lonzo Ball rookie, Donruss Optic rookie, the base rookie. It's not the hollow prism, but I paid probably just a few pennies for this, because this was a card that was in one of the boxes of cards that I bought. I bought a box of cards for like $10 and another one for $20 back in the winter of just rookie lots of Optic and Prism, and I've done really well off of it. For example, I had 3 Michael Porter rookie cards that I ended up selling for $140, and I had only $30 in the box of the cards, and I could go on and naming other rookies, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo. I could go on, and I'm still selling cards out of those boxes. It's a strategy I use every year when everybody's chasing the top 1 or 2 rookies. Like back in the winter, everybody was chasing Ja Morant and still chasing the Luka Doncic rookies from the year before, and Zion Williamson. I don't know why I'm sitting here struggling to come up with his name, but I was drawing a blank. But everybody was chasing those, and I was just going through finding auctions ending late at night, and people that really weren't thinking about when they were just ending their auctions, and bottom feeding, basically just picking up really cheap lots and flipping them for a lot of money less than a year later. So it's a strategy I've used for years. When everybody's chasing something else, I tend to just go around and bottom feed, pick up stuff really cheap, and hope that some of them take off. And this is one of those rare instances where a lot of them really took off and became popular. Lonzo Ball not being one of them, but I'm probably gonna hate myself for selling this for just $10 now, because I really do believe that the Pelicans, along with Lonzo and Zion, within the next 2 or 3 years can really take off. I still think Lonzo has a chance to be a very special player, and $10, somebody may buy this for 10 and go on and flip it for 50 to $100 later. Good for them. I seriously have pennies invested in it, and so I'm making a profit. If they make a profit, that's awesome. Everybody eats. Men's t-shirt here, $2 I think is what I paid for it. Sold for $13, and I love picking up anything iron, vintage iron, like bases like this, a flag base, or any kind of like candle bases, iron crosses. I love things iron that are ornate. This is a pretty cool little stand. I paid $4 I think for this at a Goodwill. I sold it for $35, and the buyer paid for priority shipping. As you can see, once again, you know, I did not sell a whole lot of items this week, but that's okay. I'm making sales. I've made some decent sales, especially with the toy and the little, or the Mega Bloks toy and the iron base. So it's still been a pretty good week. And if you go over here to this tab, definitely does not look like last month where I sold nearly 200 items and over $6,000. But I haven't been listing a whole lot, as you've heard me say in other videos for this month, since I've been back teaching. 75 items for the month, and still selling $1,737. I may try to make a push, send out a bunch of offers, maybe even throw a sale in my store, and try to maybe get it over $2,000 for the month. So I may shoot for that. I've got 4 days after today to do it, so we'll see what happens. But once again, thank you guys for checking out what has sold this week in my eBay store, and I'll see you next weekend where we check out another week once again. All right, as always, you guys be rocking it out and get out there and source and get some items in your store. It's the fourth quarter, baby. See ya.